So I just finished watching the movie Oh Hi, and what a wild ride that was, especially in the first act. Can I say that people are so annoying? So this movie is really about a couple, Iris and Isaac. They go to a cabin for like a weekend, and these people are being all lovey-dovey. Like you're watching this and you're like, oh, this is a couple that's really into each other. They're talking about their life stories. They're having a lot of intercourse, a lot of it, spending time together in the water. He's spreading her legs. Ow! And then they finally decide to get freaky in the bed and they want to try, more experimental things. And so she handcuffs him to the bed, his hands and his legs. And when I tell you, after watching Gerald's game, the way I've said a handcuff on the bed is just never a good idea, especially in film. Anyways, so she handcuffs him to the bed, and then after they have intercourse, right, and it's been a good time, she's now like, "Oh, I didn't think this weekend was going to be as good as it was." And he goes, "I wrote it down. I'm not really looking for a relationship. Oh, you're not looking for after the weekend. This man spread this girl's leg up, down. They have been talking about their deepest fears. He's making her food. Like he's really doing all the right things. He's really wooing this girl. And after this angelic weekend, you then say, I'm not looking for a relationship. And then when she starts having a reaction to it, right? He's like, calm down. You're being crazy. And I'm like, according to him, we've been hanging out, we've been having fun. And of course, my girl is like, hanging out and having fun. You were just eating me out. You've been eating me out. They've been dating for 4 months. So she's like, excuse me. So what do you think we've been doing for 4 months? And that's when he's like, oh, we've just been having fun. We've been hanging out. And it just gets wilder and wilder because she's like, you've been hitting it raw. And I told you I would only do that if we're in a committed, like exclusive relationship. And he's like, oh no. I thought you just said I can hit it raw with you if I don't hit it raw with other people. Just having two different, completely different experiences here, clearly. So, anyways, the movie goes on, and at this point, I'm like, you know what, good for you, girl, because she's like, you know what, if you feel this way, you sleep handcuffed to this bed. I'm not going to handcuff you. And I said, good for her, because she don't deserve this. But then, but then this movie starts to because she goes to call her mother, and her mother is like, sometimes men don't know what they want. Maybe he just needs to see you for the girl that you are. And my girl is now like, you know what? Maybe he does. So she goes into Google. She's now like searching up stuff, looking at therapist advices, and they're here really basically telling her, "Oh yeah, men don't know what they want sometimes." Like you really need to show him what he's missing out because sometimes they just don't know. So she is then convinced. So the morning comes around and she comes to him and she's like, what if you give me 12 hours to show you that we can be really good together? When he's handcuffed to the bed. And he's like, no, are you absolutely mental? And she's like, well, is it that or I'm going to stab you? And he's like, oh, now she later says she's joking, but he doesn't think she's joking. So he agrees to the 12 hours thing. By the way, my girl's mascara is running. Oh, there's my girl has gone unhinged at this point. Let me tell you. After that overnight, when she talks to her mother and starts googling the unhingedness, that's I say, oh, girl, I don't know because there's a part where he's even saying like, I don't want that. I don't want to do this 12 hours thing. And she says, I don't think you know what you want. What if this situation is a gift from the universe? I said, oh, my sister has lost. My sister don't gone too far down the road, and there's nothing I can do to help her now. Like this girl has a lot. The train has left the wagon. Like we have left the shore. My sister, I don't. So essentially, and this again is the strongest part of the thing of this movie for me because I took some notes when I was watching, and she basically just holds this man hostage. She's cooking him breakfast, and she's like, wait, does he even like French toast? She starts telling him her whole life story from her literal birth story to all the people that have hurt her in her life, her entire life story. While this boy is handcuffed to a bed, he's just trying to count down 12 hours to come. And when finally 12 hours come, he's like, okay, 12 hours as, hey, I think we can leave. Oh, by the way, even before all this, there's a moment where she starts to reenact her 11-year-old dance and she's dancing to the song Mario's Let Me Love You. I said, this girl, my sister has gone too far down the road. Oh, guy is just like, the man is just indulging her in all of this, just going, okay, okay, okay. But then once the 12 hours comes, and this is where, so this is the first act of the movie. And I'm really following, I really am really loving and going with the story up until this point because I'm like, I love how this is going. I love the direction. But then once she goes, it's 12 hours, and he's like, okay, uncuff me. She starts uncuffing, like she uncuffs the leg, and then she goes, has anything changed between about has anything changed? between us? And he goes, I don't know. I thought that was kind of not natural for that character because up until this point, this character is kind of playing the game. He's kind of just trying to appease her, trying to do she, whatever it takes to get out of this situation, out of this cuffs. So when again she's in the middle of uncuffing you and then she says, has anything changed about the situation? I would think in that moment he would be like, yeah, 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 for sure, just till he gets out of the cuffs. Saying I don't know, then obviously then leads into this whole blowout and he's now suddenly gets like aggressive and he's like, you know what, I'm done playing with this, you have kidnapped me, you definitely go to self time for this. Basically starts threatening her, like getting her like, so obviously now she's panicking, she's like, I don't know what to do. At that moment I said, okay, wait, this story is beginning to go to a place that I know that they still have, like, again, this is just the first act, we still have a lot of movie to go to, but the way that that happens I thought was so unnatural for the character in that situation that I thought, I wish there was a better way for them to go into the second act, because this is when the friends then come in and we get into the second act of the film. And from here to the end, the movie is cool. Like, I won't lie to you. I would say the best part of it, the promise of that beginning of that first act, this girl is kind of going unhinged. This boy is, he promised her a life that, he gave her all the things she wanted, but now he's like, I don't want a relationship. She's kind of like, excuse me, I have to just I don't think you can see the vision I can see in my mind. That idea is so interesting. That as a premise is so fun. And I loved it for the first act. But yeah, when the friends come in and then it just kind of becomes, what do we do about the situation we found ourselves in? So it kind of becomes that kind of movie. Oh, okay, he's trapped to the bed. What do we do now? Are we going to get in trouble? And then at the end, they kind of, I guess he kind of sees the light in his own way after some time of realizing, I think I had a dream where you said that you hated me and I actually don't want you to hate me. And I think we kind of get a sense that, okay, I think they will get a happy ending at the end. And then the movie kind of ends. For me, again, the best part of it is the first act, and I really, really enjoyed watching the first act. By the way, if you do not know who I am, my name is VDK. I make movie bingo cards, which you can find on my Substack, vdkfilmclub.substack.com, and I talk about movies. Overall, the movie, would I recommend it? Yeah, I think it's a really, really fun ride, especially for the first act of it. And then after that moment, it's a cute film. It's cool. So definitely, I would say check it out, especially for the first act, because the first act is it's really comedic, it's really funny, and it kind of gets wild and unhinged. But and then the rest of the movie doesn't like fall off completely. It's just not as strong as the first act. But yeah, if you have watched this movie, what did you think of it? And what was your own favorite moment watching it? Until the next movie that I watch, I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.